Good day guys, nice to have you here. Mad props to NickyBros for this awesome Argus gameplay. In today's video, we will review this submitted gameplay and provide some recommendations on how you can improve your game and win more. Same as always, we will also discuss some of the good and bad decisions made in the game and how things could be done better. The emblem talent NickyBros used in this game was Killing Spree. This works very well for Argus during team fights, which can help him finish off more enemies after a kill since it temporarily improves movement speed and also regenerates some of his lost HP. Though, I prefer high and dry especially against heroes with powerful laning capabilities such as Alpha. Having high and dry minimizes the advantages of such early game heroes, which can help Argus fight them off. High and dry is not a very good emblem during team fights though because of its activation condition, which requires your target to be far away from their allied heroes. In my opinion, it would have been better if Argus guarded these areas since he was dealing with Alpha, a hero that has a very good advantage over Argus during the first few minutes of the game. Usually, players picking such heroes will cut the lane and can pose a great risk if allowed. Luckily for Nicky, Alpha did not cut the lane at all.
Some may fear death, but that wouldn't be
That was amazing!
Freezing and last hitting, simple techniques, but very effective in gaining advantage over the opposing laner. Another good thing about that is when Nicky allowed the enemy minion wagon to shave off some of the turret's shield, doing so can sometimes help prevent the enemy lane hero from gaining gold from attacking the turret. The game plan is to wait for Alpha to use his first and second skills on the minions. Once used, Argus can then strike using his own skill combos safely. Sadly, it seems the Alpha player was cautious and also knew what Nicky was thinking. Still though, that's good pressure coming from Nicky.
judged.
Excellent effort. Not only was Nicky able to keep Alpha away from the lane, he was also able to steal Alpha's crab. It's only been roughly 2 minutes into the game, but we can already see some signs of good things to come. Remember not to take the laning phase or the early game for granted, regardless if you are playing a late game hero such as Argus. How the laning phase works out for you can usually dictate how the game will end. Argus Ultimate was available, but Nicky did not use it, and that is because he is still trying to shave off some of Alpha's HP and is reserving his ultimate for their next duel. Since both Alpha and Eamon were missing from the minimap, staying within the turret's range was definitely a good idea. Despite not seeing the enemies, Nicky had a strong feeling they were nearby since the turtle was already available. To make matters worse, Nicky's roamer was too busy leashing on the gold lane. Whenever you are playing as a roamer, remember to always keep an eye on major objectives such as the turtle and always be prepared in helping your teammates secure it by providing vision and preventing enemies, especially the enemy jungler, from getting close to the turtle. Leashing Leslie for such a long period of time was definitely a bad decision made by Edith. Remember guys to always check the minimap as frequently as possible. Doing so will help you make better decisions. Nicky is definitely doing an excellent job in terms of map awareness. Since he saw Alpha on the mid lane, he went ahead and started clearing the minions quickly instead of wasting time freezing the lane. Keep in mind that there is a right time when to freeze the lane and when to rush the lane. And again, you would only be able to determine the best time to freeze and rush if you are checking the minimap. Also, I understand that Eamon was still missing from the minimap, but Nicky still pushing despite that was a very good idea because Eamon is not a threat against Argus. In fact, Argus hard counters Eamon and can make all of his skills useless. As long as Argus Ultimate is available, Eamon will never have a chance against him. Not only was Nicky's reflexes on point, he also had excellent map awareness, allowing him to dodge Johnson's ultimate as if it was nothing. Before I forget, these were the items NickyBros got for Argus in that game. It was geared towards attack speed, HP scaling damage, and physical penetration. In other words, it's a tank buster build especially designed against heroes with high physical defense and a high HP pool. Corrosion Scythe, Demon Hunter Sword, and Golden Staff all work very well together, since Golden Staff allows both Corrosion Scythe and Demon Hunter Sword to gain their respective stacks faster, therefore greatly improving the user's damage output. Sea Halberd was there mainly for its life drain effect, which reduces the enemy's all forms of regeneration by half, and Malefic Roar for that juicy physical defense penetration. In my opinion though, it was not really a necessity for NickyBros to buy Malefic Roar, since the enemies did not have very good physical defenses. I would have probably gotten something else such as Blade of Despair in order to pump up Argus damage further. Since the top lane's first turret has been destroyed, it's now time to join more team fights and put pressure on other lanes.
Burn in the abyss.
Despite having the top lane's first turret destroyed, don't forget managing it. Check your minimap as frequently as possible, and whenever you do not see any of your minions around this area, go ahead and head towards the lane and clear enemy minions. Remember that consistently giving your minions lane advantage can put more pressure on the enemies, which can help break their formation and force them to go on separate ways, since some of the enemies will be busy defending the lanes. Since Nicky's allies were busy clashing with enemies on the far end of the map, it would be wise to push the top lane. It was just too far for him to reach, and by the time he gets there, the clash might have already ended, giving them less rewards, but if he destroys the top lane turret, that will give them a huge advantage over the enemy team.
Only the strongest shall survive.
Since Argus had a tremendous advantage in level and items, he was able to easily dispose off the enemies. Normally, those heroes are pretty challenging to take down, but thanks to the pressure and momentum Nicky kept from the laning phase, he was able to outclass them both in level and items, thus giving him a gaping advantage in damage output.
The shadow in my heart is deep in the abyss.
Remember, Argus Ultimate is not just meant to destroy enemies, it is also meant to drive them away, which can make destroying turrets for your team easier. Of course, it's always great getting a kill or two, but sometimes, driving the enemies away can go a long way in helping your team win the match. As you can see, Johnson along with his teammates are all out-leveled by a huge difference. Since they have very low levels, clashing with the enemies will almost always favor Nicky's team. Remember guys, that if you are behind in a game, especially if the level gap is greater than one level, I do not suggest engaging in team fights at all. You will most likely lose if you are a level 7 hero clashing against a level 10 hero. Not only will your damage output be underwhelming against them, you would also have lower defenses, thus making it easier for them to kill you. Instead of clashing, whenever you are behind, just focus on defense. Do not venture too far out from your turrets, and be extra vigilant in checking your minimap. If you can hold your ground and defend the game long enough, you should be able to gain enough items to counterattack. Also, there is a level cap of only 15, which means eventually, all of you will have the same levels as the enemies, giving you a chance for an epic comeback. I understand that their team is winning, but the bottom lane is getting mauled. Keep in mind that there is always a comeback potential for any team, no matter how bad they are playing. Do not be complacent, and whenever you see your lane losing, defend it, clear the minions, and make sure to give your allied minions lane advantage before going someplace else. Nicky's team actually had multiple chances of ending this game earlier, but it seems they are playing with too much confidence. They have Bane and Odette, which are both amazing heroes and dishing out damage on a very wide area, while they also had Edith, which is a tank with incredible damage output. If at least Odette, Bane, Edith, and Leslie would team up and push the mid lane, they would definitely destroy it easily.
The shadow in my heart is deeper than the abyss.
If I were in Odette's position, I would use myself as bait and remain close to Argus in order to lure in an enemy hero. After all, Odette's ultimate is pretty good in keeping her alive because of its shield, and since Argus will be close by, the enemy hero won't stand a chance. Normally, Eamon would have dealt tremendous damage on Argus using his ultimate and at times can even destroy Argus instantly, but because of the huge level gap, Eamon's ultimate dealt very little damage. I bet even Nicky was surprised with how little its damage was. That concludes our Mobile Legends content for today. Do you have any other recommendations we might have missed? Leave your thoughts on the comment section below, and if you haven't yet, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay safe everyone. Peace.